Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Dalton at Dalton95, which is another Transformers video, and today we're taking a look at the Age of the Primes, Wreck and Doom Collection, Spinister, and Topspin. So, this set here is kind of finally a combination of the past two Amazon exclusive series, that being the Wreckers collection from Kingdom / beginning of Legacy, or first year of Legacy, and the Doom and Destruction Mayhem Attack Squad set. I don't know why I had such a brain fart right there with that. With Spinisters. So go ahead and take a look there. You get Topspin there, and finally complete those two. Spinister to complete the targetmasters. I mean, he's already been out before, but this is a more comic edition, and he does include Hair Splitter and Singe, since the original release didn't, and you have to go through both a last wave release for Singe and a multi-pack for Shroot, which was basically a Hair Splitter. But here we got Topspin, finally in his Diaclone colors with Freeze Out. So we can finally have the Diaclone versions of the jump starters. Now it'd be nice to see if they do the, was it, I know there's a yellow and a black one for a Diaclone release, or I know it was over either, I can't remember for a Central American or Asian release of the jump starters. I know Mac Ideas did it with their, was it Demolition Crew or something like that for the jump starters. But anyways, 25 steps, 18 steps. So let's go ahead and get this open. Check it out. You get the nice little Versus logo there. Legal stuff at the bottom. So let's go ahead and get them open and check them out. All right, so here we have Topspin and Spinister, both out of their packaging, and they, I mean, look as they should. I mean, we've got Topspin here in his Diaclone colors, so we'll go ahead and look at him first because he's the most simple of the two. And again, there's not really much to him that we haven't gone over before. So right off the bat, he's got a, of course, darker blue, kind of an indigo torso. Same with the biceps. Got the red forearms, shoulders, legs. Some gray and silver here for the lower leg or the thighs. Got some red plastic painted over with the silver for the prongs there for vehicle mode. Some nice gunmetal paint here on the wings. Of course, here on the chest, you got some details there. A little bit of yellow on the shoulders. Autobot record symbol there. Regular Autobot symbol on the left wing. And for the face, he's got some silver with that pale kind of all-spark blue. Of course, some yellow here on the knees. But yeah, good amount of paint overall. I mean, he's not meant to be like super decorated looking. Now here is his previous counterpart, being the regular Titans Return release. So kind of see what they're going for here with the Diaclone colors. I think I got the wings on backwards because I tried matching the artwork from the packaging. So probably fix that right now. So there we go. There he is as he should be right out of the packaging. And as far as accessories go, you get the same ones that you get with both him and Twin Twist. Molded in blue, painted over with this dark gunmetal gray that was on the wings. Just fit those, of course, in his hands. No blast effect compatibility because this is not a Siege toy. I mean, this is based on a Titans Return toy, so 2 years prior. And here is the Diaclone Topspin. So the colors match, and if you really want to, you can swap the torsos around. Tried it. Some of the aspects or tabs don't quite work in the vehicle modes. But if you really want to, you could swap the torsos around to have a solid blue Twin Twist and a solid red Topspin. Of course, Topspin will have drills, and Twin Twist will have those intakes. So there is that. Now, articulation is the same. You got a ball jointed head with the Titan Master, ball jointed shoulders, as well as this joint here, so you get all the way up to there. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, nothing at the wrist. You get a waist swivel, ball jointed hips, which are still very tight. To get kind of a double joint on the knee, but that's just a transformation joint. Nothing at the ankles. So, yeah, basic articulation for Titans Return. We'll go ahead and take off the Titan Master. This is Freeze Out. Of course, you can see he is molded in gray plastic, of course, with some of that kind of indigo and red, with a little bit of silver and light blue for the face. Basic Titan Master articulation, so you get the ball jointed shoulders, and the hips and knees are on a clip and a pin. So there is Topspin. So now we'll get into Spinister, which is based on his kind of Marvel comic appearance. I believe the UK comics. Not too familiar with the comic universe as far as like how the characters are designed and like the lore in the Marvel comics, but I do quite like this deco. Now, of course, you can't beat the original toy deco. I do plan on getting toy hacks to clean this up because don't really care for the painted on battle damage. I do agree with Mark. He recently did a Q&A saying, I believe it was in the Q&A, but do remember something of him saying that if he was going to go back to doing battle damage, he would have it molded in, kind of like what we saw with Thundertron, and I would be all for that. But do a clean release along with that. So yeah, if they clean this up, I might even just clean it up myself before putting on the toy hacks. But there you go. You can see the pink is just a little bit more, I guess a little bit more saturated, a little bit brighter. But instead of purple on the forearms, you get kind of that dark indigo color, just kind of a darker blue. I would say that the lower legs here, the paint-wise, is kind of a glossy navy blue. You get that kind of navy blue here for the plastic. You do get a blue mouth plate with red eyes. Still a lot of the same details here in torso, except you don't have the silver outlining here. You got the black hands, glossy black paint for the head, black rotors. Of course, that darker blue there for that bit of the backpack. So yeah, looks very good. Go ahead and add his weapons real fast just so you can see what's changed. So there's those. So the Gatling gun is that same kind of brighter blue as the forearms, and the regular twin barrel blaster is the same as the upper legs, hips. So much like how it was on the original release. Now, what this one has that the others don't, as you've seen in the beginning, is he comes with hair splitter and singe. Now, these are just repaints of Zigzag and Sunbeam, of course, as they should be as far as like their decos. So you got the purple and blue, gunmetal gray, black, teal, gunmetal gray. Yeah, they're just repaints of those two compared to the individually released Targetmasters or Battlemasters that we got in Siege. So here is Singe, who actually is quite a good Targetmaster. And this is Shroot from the Skywarp multi-pack. It's just a rename of Hair Splitter. I don't know why they couldn't call him Hair Splitter. But there they are. So, yeah, I mean, however you want to do it, if you have these, they can go with him or with the Siege version, and of course vice versa. So we'll get the original Spinister out of the way and give this one his Targetmasters. There we go. So now that we have him, we can bring in Needle Nose and Quake and have all three of the double Targetmasters, of course, with their proper Targetmasters, even though these are repaints of, you know, Sunbeam and Zigzag. I think it's fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal for me. I know some people would prefer all new molds, but since this pack is a set of repaints for exclusives anyways, again, not that big of a deal. So going into articulation, it's the exact same. So you get a ball jointed head. Doesn't give a lot of range, but we can still rotate it around fairly freely. get a 360 swivel at the shoulder. You get a hinge that gets up to there. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You get a wrist swivel. Kind of a tight waist swivel. Forward and back at the hips, all the way out at the hip. Thigh swivel. A little over 90 at the knee, and then you get ankle tilt and a little bit down, but nothing forward. So let's go ahead and get into transformation on these guys. I'm going to start with Topspin because, again, a little bit more simple and easy to go through. A little bit more fun, in my opinion. So I'll just go ahead and remove his weapons and headmaster. Flip out these panels, flip the fists in. Then we'll just collapse the forearm, closing up that panel. Collapse the forearm, close the panel. Just kind of straighten out those wings. Open up the lower legs. Bring this section down. Nose, or the canopy up. Unclip the waist piece here, rotate that around. That will plug into there. Rotate the hips. Go ahead and fold in the toes. That'll kind of lock the lower leg together. And this will just collapse on a double hinge. Get to there. Same thing on this side. Collapse that up. Bring this whole section forward. And then on this top joint here, just straighten that out. And then tab the forearm into that little slot right there. Same thing on this side. Just tab that in. We'll take freeze out. Just kind of lay him back. Close the canopy and just collapse. See, this waist piece is kind of what gets in the way. There we go. And then these will just tab together. Collapse that down. And flip out this landing gear. And there is Topspin in his diaclone colors in vehicle mode. Now for weapon storage, you can just plug the wing or the blasters onto the back here. It's really the only place to store them. So there you go. So there is Topspin. And here we have him with the regular Generation 1 style Topspin, whose blaster keeps falling off. You can see what they've changed here as far as the color scheme goes. It doesn't have the white paint here on the front or the bottom. It's all just silver paint on these front intake nose cone pieces. Of course, you got the blue paint, blue cockpit window. No paint around the trim. Got yellow and blue there. Don't have the stripe on the wings. Everything else, though, is pretty much one for one the same. And, of course, here he is with Twin Twist, who, you know, does have the lighter shade of silver for the blasters. I don't know if that was intentional or if they just forgot. I mean, because there is no other gunmetal gray on him except for the treads. So I don't know if that was intentional or, you know, what the deal was. So there might be some subtle reference. Again, I don't know. So there is that. And let's go ahead and get into Spinister. Again, his transformation is exactly the same as the Siege version, but we'll go ahead and go through it. Go ahead and take blasters off. I want to go ahead and take the forearms, fold them up. There is a tab here on the shoulder, a little slot in the forearm. So just make sure that is tabbed in there. Same thing on this side. Just that. Untab this whole section here, which I didn't. I guess we'll get into that in vehicle mode. It is a little bit difficult to get them rotated. There we go. Bring that whole section up. Put the head into there. Just tab that in. We'll go ahead and collapse this section down. I don't know if there's something wrong with it or if it's just... There we go. I'm going to rotate this around. Open up the wheel here. Bring this down. Bring this out to the side. Rotate it down. I will tab into the little slot right there. Bring this fully down to there. And it helps to bring this whole section forward so you can get some clearance. Go ahead and close up that section. Again, open up the lower leg. Bring this section out. Rotate it around here. Should not bring it to here. Bring it down. That will again tab into there. It's made of a more flexible plastic, so it's a little bit tricky to get tabbed in. There we go. So collapse that up, and then this panel will just kind of close up there. And bring this whole assembly together. Now this will tab into the body there. Same with this side. Then the feet will tab into the lower part of the forearm here. Don't know why this is being so difficult. There we go. There we go. All right, then from here, bring out the front wheel, make sure this is all tabbed in, straighten out the propeller, and I will note that in transit, mine's a little bit bent. I will have to take a hairdryer to that to straighten that out. But there is Spinister in his helicopter mode. We'll go ahead and plug his weapons on. Just plug him in the same side that we're in robot mode. And there he is as his Apache helicopter mode. So yeah, looks very good. And we'll go ahead and bring in the original Titans Return version. Which I don't know why he's wanting to lean back so much compared to the other one I've got here. It just seems more back heavy this time. Here we go. Oh well. I did want to point out the kind of faded Decepticon symbol there. That is a new tempograph, as well as the new Mayhem Attack Squad logo there. That is, I believe, Octopunch's sigil. So hopefully this builds up to us actually getting Octopunch, because the past two sublines now from Amazon have had that logo between the Insecticons and Breakdown. I don't know why that name was escaping me. So yeah, I mean, but helicopter mode does, I mean, carry over a lot of the same deco choices as the robot mode. So again, just very heavily based on that Marvel color scheme. Go ahead and take the Battlemasters or Targetmasters and just plug them onto the side here. So you can have Spinister fully armed like crazy and ready to attack. So there is our 2-pack, technically 4-pack with the Battlemasters, Targetmasters, whatever. So yeah, our 5-pack if you include the Headmaster. So take that for what you will. So let's go ahead and get these guys back into robot mode before we get into our final thoughts on the set. Just go ahead and take everything off here. So we'll go ahead and fold up the landing gear. Untab arms from the side there. Bring these feet down. Untab this whole section, open up that door, bring it all down, collapse that in, untab that, bring this down, rotate it around, and there we go. So untab from here, straighten out the leg, collapse that back, untab that, and just bring this whole assembly down to there. And straighten the leg, rotate the hips, bring this section, you want to untab this section first before bringing up the waist piece. So bring that out. I'll allow you to collapse the tail rotor in, revealing his head. Collapse that back up. That will give you that little tab right there that allows you to close up the propellers and have them sticking up. Rotate its waist, straighten out the arms. And there is Spinister back in robot mode. We'll give him his targetmasters. Which it is a little tricky for him to hold both targetmaster and the forearm blasters. So we can kind of get it just at a little bit of an angle. There we go. So there is Spinister back in robot mode. As for Topspin, just untab legs here, straighten them out, bring out the foot, collapse the calf. Again, straighten that out, flip out the foot, collapse that, and bring out these knee pads a little bit here. Untab. Flip up the landing gear. Okay, so before we do anything there, straighten out, pull up the arms, open that up, take the head out, flip that in, and the chest kind of link them together like that. Rotate the front chest piece, collapse the hips onto it, rotate the waist. There we go. Open the arms and extend, flip out the fist. There we go. Open the arm, extend, flip out the fist. And then we'll just add freeze out back on and give him his blasters. And there is Topspin. So let's go ahead and get into final thoughts. So as far as the final thoughts on this set, I honestly really like how it turned out. Despite, the limitations of the Titan's Return mold, it is nice to finally complete the two after, was it like 3 years now? Because we got the Topspin, or not Topspin, Twin Twist back in, I want to say Kingdom. I think it was Kingdom. So it's been at least 3 years since we've had, that first member, and then of course having Spinister. For those who couldn't get the original version, or pick up the targetmasters to go with them, especially from the Skywarp pack, because that sold out. There was all the distribution issues with it, and then it's going for insane money on the aftermarket, at least before this point. I do really like the colors on it. It's not my favorite of the two, but it does look really, really good. So it is a good compromise if you haven't been able to get the Titan's Return or the Siege release, as well as, of course, like I said, the targetmasters that go with them. Would have been nice if they were newly molded, but I don't mind them being repaints. So, it does what it needs to, and they still look good. So, very happy with this set. Unlike the last couple of things I looked at, as far as my videos go. So, really looking forward to the Sandstorm and Slugslinger set, mostly for the Slugslinger because I do like those darker rebirth colors. Sandstorm I could kind of take care of there. I guess I'll see when it comes in if I like it better than the retail release or not. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the links down below, as well as check out my playlist for Age of the Primes, Studio Series, and of course Legacy. And be sure to check out my bi-weekly show, Axelon News. We go over any news topics over the over 2-week period. We might have add in some more topics here or there, but it's mostly for Transformers news. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to stay tuned for part 2, which will be, Iron Fist or Physitron and Carnivac. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. So long. Take care.